All right, let's do a testing, 1, 2, 3. I think we should be good though. I'm gonna check all of my things real quick and we'll get started. This is my Yeti character. We move on to this guy. All right, so in this stream, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. Working on some art lead tasks for, let me see, in a stream. For the game Boo Crew, and the Boo Crew is a multiplayer party game where here, let me turn on wireframes so you can see. So this is one of the bosses of Boo Crew, and for one of the game modes, the Yeti. So I'll be working on a few of the Boo Crew skins, and should be fun. Let's have some fun. Let me make sure that everything is running, and they should be good to go here. Live streams. I probably need to change this. Yeah, that should be good. Change this to... Yeah, I think that YouTube has a like science section. I think that was what I had it on last time. Logs, animal. There it is. Science technology. All right, I think we're good to go on all the different sides. Okay, looks like my audio's on the kick. Yeah, sweet. All right, cool. We're good to go. Let's do a quick test. So yeah, Boo Crew is a pretty cool party game. I'm gonna be working on. Let me see. I'm gonna grab my my PureRef real quick, so you guys can see actually what I'm working on. This is the PureRef for this Yeti character. That was pretty cool. But we'll be working on a different character this time. Let's check the Jira tasks. So yeah, if you didn't know, if you go into Jira and click on your person, like your icon, then you can see just your specific tasks. So basically, I have these guys. I'm definitely falling a little behind. I need to get started on these tasks. I've been working on a dragon lately. If y'all didn't see that on the last stream, it's been pretty cool to work on. But yeah, this is the Team Jira. And yeah, if I focus on just my icon right here, then it'll show to these guys. So right now I'm in progress with the Pirate Boo. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new, and then let me see here. Let's do a new scene, and then I'm just going to drag and drop this. So I actually have a thing called Light Shot. So I'm able to just do print screen, and I could just save this, but if I don't want to, I can just do copy and then Control V inside of the PureRef. There you go. Heck yeah. And then so sometimes we'll have like a design document on the character, but I already kind of know what to do. Effectively, we're just going to be doing like the weapon, the hat, so all the little gadgets for this. And but the weapon and the hat are both going to be things that are basically pinned on in engine, so that'll be cool. I might have to set them basically, and it's really good because it'll help like speed up the rigging process. So all right, let me see here. I think we're good on this. Hey, what's up, Weemus? Welcome. How's it going, man? So yeah, this is as our Will. Yeah, Will is from our dev Discord. If you guys are on YouTube, then he's pretty cool dude. So he's been doing an awesome job on the Boo Crew stuff, working on some of the environment assets. Absolutely. Welcome in, dude. Yeah, I'm working on the Pirate Boo character. Or if you guys are on, I'm gonna go ahead and send this off. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube. Then he's. I'm gonna go ahead and send this to the Brew Crew chat. Let's see here. Where was it doing it at? Okay, so let's go ahead and get going. So working on this guy. I think I have my everything going for the chat here. Yeah, we should be good to go on the chat. Cool. Trying to just make sure. So I don't think the chat is updating here. Hold on. I'm learning. I have a new plugin right now that kind of shows me multi-stream stuff. So now I'm trying to figure out how it works. But it's all kind of new to me. Studio, videos, live streams. Okay. I'm fine. Everything is all right over here. The character is amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the baddies from before. And here, I'll go ahead and check out where I'm at the Boo Crew. This is the Boo Crew assets, 3D characters, Boos. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is work from a different Boo. So I'll start from the base Boo and go from there. So that always helps me kind of just hit the ground running. So this is version 7 of the base Boo. And I do have a new face plane. Let's see if it's the same face plane. I think it is. Yeah, we're good to go on that. Awesome. So yeah, for this game, similar to like Animal Crossing and a few other of the games like that, the cute games, we're actually going to have, or we do have a. It's kind of like a expression sheet changer rather than having a face rig. That just really makes it kind of toony and cute, and stays away from the heavy face rig stuff and the weight painting for that. Yeah. It's working. Content. I'm still trying to understand Rumble. Rumble is kind of the new streaming platform that I'm not used to yet, and trying to get the hang of it better. Set a new stream, create new live stream. Go live. Sure. Oh, it has a different link. I see. I see. That's interesting. Yeah, for some reason the I'm trying to look for the messages on here and it's not it's not coming up with the messages. I'm not really sure why that is. Like, I think it's not doing, it's not updating the message on YouTube, it looks like. So I think I'll just hang out and come back and forth from YouTube. And, yeah, kick. Is Rumble just not on? Let me see if the Rumble output will work now. Okay, I'm live now. Cool. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, testing. All right, we're good. We're on Rumble. I'm really looking forward to the new Super Mario movie. I loved how they designed the visuals for the film. It's being released between April 1st and the 4th. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I mean, I'm a big fan of Yoshi. Like I was trying to even play a lot of Yoshi back in the day for Smash when I was doing Smash tournament stuff. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun for sure. However they integrate them. And I heard there's also going to be some other characters from other kind of games like Sonic, perhaps. And yeah, I'm not really sure what all is going to be involved with that, but that should be fun. Heck yeah. Let me add my ChatGPT. All right, so first off, I'm just gonna block out some of these pieces. It should be fun. I'm trying to figure out still why everything's connected. So for some reason, it's just not updating the chat. I don't know why. That's fine. Yeah, what's your favorite character, Will? For the Mario series. I've been a big Luigi fan too. I think they did a lot of the voice acting roles pretty well. Oh, one. I just realized that the the stream on YouTube is showing that I'm doing the dragon still. Hold on. They have this like weird thing where you have to add it in post for some reason. Like you go into the content and you add it in post, and I have no idea why. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and change it to this. I just realized that yeah, my Boo Crew reference, sort of the Boo references on the wrong side. Like I'm in front of it. Oh no. Oh, that's right. I have to save. Not download, change. Save, there we go. All right, so yeah, we can start building out this. So with the hat, I think should be. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and start building this out with my cylinder piece. Always keep things super low poly too, so kind of just going from 20 to 12. That's right. If you change the scale, sometimes it'll just jack itself up like that. So yeah, keeping it really simple here. And I actually like working in ZBrush a bit more than. Let me turn off these guys. Yeah, I like working in ZBrush a bit more than working in Maya. But for Maya blockouts, it really is kind of like unbeatable for sure. Okay, so that's another record I had. Let's see here. I think to build this out from the side view here, it looks kind of like. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, kind of this bowl shape, and then we kind of build out the edges. So I'm going to build out kind of this cut here, make it really thick, and then build out that ring. From the ring, yeah, that's about right. That's a bit too tall. It's like sombrero. That's about right. And then the front can go up a bit more, so. The back can go up some. Let's build this out. Sick. Yeah, this is it's a pretty new style. It's probably one of my favorite styles because of how simple it is. It's very kind of akin to Fall Guys, that kind of stuff. Kind of between like Fall Guys and like Nintendo. That's what we're going for. I love it. And then of course from the view, this is what like the biggest important bit is that from the actual view, how does it look? Because it might be a certain way, like on the reference, but this hat, from the far distance, it gets muddied up when it's from like that far. And plus, this little like kind of this U shape right here that won't show unless it's at an angle. So I need to have to like, and that's kind of that way a bit too on the side view. You can kind of see that it's tilted. So I kind of have to tilt it to really get that view like plausible to see from above. That looks pretty good. And then I need to add that strip for the bandana. And that's pretty easy too. Let me see. But yeah, blocking out from this like low res it's easy, but it's fun. That's why I like the style so much. Move it here. Sounds good. All right, so yeah, basically kind of build out the bowl shape. I can kind of just go from this edge, and this should allow me to, let's see here. This kind of depends, because I can extend this out. That might work. Here, let's give it a shot. So if I bring this down for the bandana, and then I just go on these faces here, and then I just do an extraction, that should work. Yeah, that works just fine. So modify, center pivot. There we go, and then bring it in like so. So now we have this cool easy bandana, and that's, yeah, it takes like no time to do. Make sure there's no clipping. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so now I check it from the top, that top view, which is the most important thing. All right, it's gonna work. It looks good. Make sure that everything is still working. I think it should be good here. So it's showing that it's like a black strip, which doesn't really work. So I'll have to definitely just flip that. So just go to the mesh display and we'll do a reversal. There we go. And that all that means is really that it won't show the texture if it's the black side. So it's a gray and a black side, and that's all that really means is that, yeah, it's not going to show the bakes and textures, which is pretty important. I'm gonna send the stream link to my buddy real quick. Copy link. All right, cool. All right, so we have this. I don't really have to add thickness, but in any case that it is going to get in close like this, for say some kind of celebration, animation, that kind of stuff, you always have to account for that kind of thing happening. And so it's kind of good to still add a little bit more for thickness, especially with the style that this is. So effectively, I'm just going to bring this in and then go for that extrude here. So extrude, pop it out. So it's kind of coming out from the forehead here. What I noticed too is that it looks really mucky when you have it like this, where it's kind of inside the character. It depends, but like, yeah, I noticed that like when you're close up, it looks a bit odd. When it kind of looks like it's clipping strangely. But what I had noticed is that you can like pull it out like this, where it's kind of hovering above the character, and that makes it feel a slightly better. In that scenario, I can kind of shrink it down a little bit. But yeah, that's just something that I've noticed in the past. This kind of where it's just hovering right above the mesh, they're not clipping together, just looks a little bit better to me. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently. Yeah, I mean, that's all up to your own judgment, but yeah. Cool. I think I'm still wondering why the chat's not updating on the YouTube side. That's pretty strange. Yeah. I guess pretty much just the Twitch side that's like not having issues. It's all good though. All right, let's see here. Go on this. So, all right, we have this. If we're going to add this little tie in the background, which I will, so this is just a literal ball. So I'll just do this ball piece, and then we'll have, I reduced this over to 12 and 12. you can probably just do 8 and 8 and that'll be fine as well. Because most likely, I feel like most likely you're not going to see this ever. So it's kind of in a way a waste of geometry, and it's will only be kind of prevalent if it's big enough. So like, okay, like you're coming from this view, then you're never gonna see this ball, and yeah, this is the only way that it's gonna be visible is if you make it huge. So that's kind of the thought process behind that. Here, I'll see if I can make it like this. There we go. See, like that feels like something here. So like, it's not too small, not too big. I think it's fine. If it gets too big, then it's going to like cut it right into the tail. And then if you cut into the tail, you're not going to see the belt. So there's kind of a few things to think about here from the distance. The only other thing I can think of is I could bring in these edges, and that helps some. Oh, we're going across sea, right? That was my problem. So another character I was working on goes across the X world axis for symmetry. So yeah, this is kind of a way to fix this too, is that just the back of the hat can be like crimped in a bit more. In that way, this doesn't have to be as big. I think that'll probably work pretty well. So now this can be reduced in size a tad, and this just hovers effectively. There we go. Yeah, that was pretty good. I think I probably could make it a little bit like this. There we go. And then for the side pieces, like the come off pieces that, you know, for the bandana, you can just football them in and make them a little bit thinner. Probably something like this. Because yeah, we're kind of just building out that piece, and it's quite easy. I mean, yeah. So in this part as well, I can make this vertice a bit further out like that. Awesome. And then we can just do duplication, and then from here I can just kind of make it to where it's askew, and then we can do the same thing here. Then I'll bring it over here. Then one of the other, so like something like this where it doesn't like clip as bad. It looks pretty cute. I think that works pretty well. Yeah. So this is all kind of coming into the tail a little bit, so I'm gonna see if I can just reduce everything by a tad and then just bring it in. And that looks a little too squashed. Gaming alumni. Okay, yes. I'll turn on the wireframe so you guys can see a little bit better what's going on. I think that's just a helpful visual. Yeah, it just kind of brings more clarity instead of just like the shape language by itself. It kind of shows you how the thing is built, which is cool. So yeah, we're keeping it super, super low poly at the moment. All right, cool. So yeah, from this we have the cutlass, a toy cutlass here, and that should be simple. I'll go ahead and build this out real fast. This is my favorite way to build like swords and props. I'm going to go to this here, the create polygon tool, and we're just going to build this out by kind of by sight here. So because it's quite simple. So it's kind of like this. Trying to get the just general shape here, and there we go. Enter. I'll turn off this wireframe here so it's easier to see what's going on. That's better. That's better, yeah. Right, so now I basically am just crossing these so that I don't have any, yeah, it's all quads or tries. Yeah. Oh, it won't let me do it. Dang it. I tried. Oops, that's kick. I'm not sure why I'm having issues building in. It could be that it's on the opposite side. Let's try from this. So here, and then if I can multi-cut. It's still not letting me multi-cut. That's quite weird. It's over here. There you go. It looks kind of like a scimitar. It's pretty cool. So usually multi-cut function is just fine. I'm not really sure what's up with that. So go ahead and just delete my type history. Okay, it's letting me at least do some of these, so that's fine. Smoothing out this. Look more like a scimitar here. There we go. That was pretty good. That can come in like this. There we go. I think that looks pretty close here. Yeah. Cool. So now I'm gonna add some thickness. What could have been happening with the multi-cut tool is just the fact that it has that I have symmetry on it. Symmetry kind of acts weird in some ways, like it'll just have issues. I'm not sure why. Shrillify, hey homie. Let's see, I can share stream. Oh, I'm good, Cheryl. Thank you so much. I'm new, but it's good. Appreciate it. Why am I having issues here? Modify center pivot, and then X. There we go. So we're still keeping it somewhat dull. It is kind of like a, I guess, a kid's cutlass, a toy cutlass. So it doesn't really matter too much. And the distance is so far away that you're not going to really see it that well anyway. So it needs to be big enough where it's obvious that it's there. And it's okay if the hand clips through it sometimes. I think that's totally fine. Okay, I'm just doing little test things here. So for some reason, I guess it's chosen the like shorts live stream thing for some reason to take the text from. I have no idea why. So I guess it's kind of a weird issue. Moderation, activity. You do timestamp, sure. Why not? Yeah, please let me know if there's anything that is, if the stream is having any kind of trouble, let me know. I think it looks like pretty smooth right now, but I can't fully tell. All right, this cutlass looks pretty good, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and add the hand guard. This will be really simple. We're just doing like a half circle here, just like half sphere. And go ahead and do, we'll do 8 and 8. Makes it nice and simple. And then I'll basically just cutting out the bottom. So I'm going through here. I guess looking pretty good so far. Yeah. So make it wider and kind of flatten it a tad. Go ahead and cut out that bottom here. And then we'll just have that hand guard for the cutlass. That'll look pretty cool. Ooh, actually, I have an even better idea here. We'll just do a split off of the bottom. Because I just saw that the handle kind of ends in this like similar kind of view. So that works pretty well, actually. And then I can do an extrude. Oh, it's black, so I need to go ahead and do the reverse. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, Twitch is saying low bit rate, but I don't believe it because yeah, it seems like it's totally fine. The audio and the video look just fine, so I have no idea what that's about. It's quite strange. All right. So for the bottom piece, though, I can make the whole handle thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the extrude, bring it in to where the handle would start, and I'm going to go ahead and delete the interior. I actually like that, like how it's kind of at a tilt rather than flat. So if it's flat like this, then it loses some of its dynamic feel. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way. We'll go ahead and do the reverse. And then on the edge mode, just going to extrude it up. And it literally doesn't need any more geometry to make it a little bit more dynamic, though. I could probably kind of make it bigger or small. I'll make it bigger. That looks kind of better to me. So I'll just kind of have it just slam right into the top here. Let's reduce some geometry here. I can go ahead and delete this guy. You're never going to see this interior ever. So I'll go ahead and just delete all of that. Because these props aren't actually being used. I think if these weapons were going to be used, then I would probably keep some of those edge loops. But they never will, so I'm not too worried about it. And there we go. I intentionally keep that pommel separate from this because if this bakes inside of here, and you have this little inset piece, gonna have a bunch of little baking errors most likely. So this just makes it a little bit cleaner. And my client, or my he likes it to be watertight, and so there's no kind of weird lighting errors. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cap this off just for his sake. So let's go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and just do a bridge. Okay, G, and then the last one. G, perfect. All right, just capping it off for the client. I don't have to do that normally, but yeah, for any lighting errors, it's probably cleaner to do it this way. So, all right, cool. So we have the blade, we have this handguard, and we have that pommel all kind of set up for us, looking pretty good. Okay. What am I have fun for Twitch? I think for Twitch I'm on art. Okay, got it. Yeah, this is the same kind of thing as earlier, where I can probably have it. Let's find out. If I have it hover, no, it does look better here when I'm just have it like just inside the blade. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, the blade just kind of clips right into it like that. I think that works. All right, so I'm gonna bring everything together. Combine. Check out from a distance. So from here, I think it looks pretty dang good. I think that works pretty well. Maybe a little bit too serious, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah. Let's bring this over. Yeah, I like that. I like this overall. I think this is pretty good. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like a scimitar. Sick. Light off. There we go. That looks like better. Not too washed out anymore. I feel like that was looking kind of washed out. Right. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Just trying to fix my lighting. All right, I think the cutlass is looking pretty good. We have the cutlass on the, looks like the right hip, so I can just kind of bring it over here. Sort of my symmetry's off. So that's 180. Actually, looks like I just need to rotate it this way. There's 90 degrees. It needs to be more than 90 degrees, it looks like, because of the tilt. So I think this is looking to look awesome. Yeah. And I will undo this. This is just for me to visualize this. So I think I want to make the blade a bit wider so it's easier to see. But this looks pretty dang cool. And then, yeah, I think I'd rotate it this way like that. But yeah, all this is going to be just preemptive. I'm just making sure it looks large enough. I think it looks pretty sick. I think I'll make it a slightly larger like that. So, yeah. But it's actually way easier for me to texture it if it's just in the center like this. So I'm going to keep it like this. I'm just going to rotate it like so. And have this above. So kind of like this. And I think I actually wanted the blade. Yeah, I wanted the blade to be a bit wider just so it's more visible. And more cartoony. Not that wide. that was pretty cool. Okay, and I wanted the blade a little bit bigger. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and do a delete by type history. And then I'll modify freeze transforms. That looks good. And yeah, transforms kind of acts up a little bit when you're doing when you have rigs. So yeah, make sure if you have it something that's rigged, be careful about that. All right, cool. So here, I'll show you this real quick. So here is the Boo Crew. It's super cute. So I worked on pretty much all the characters that you see that I helped build, and yeah, then we have a really cool 2D artist that does the expressions, Parker. We have a rigger and animator, yeah, Fabio and Aaron. Yeah, it's been a really solid team. So sick. But yeah, so basically, yeah, there's different mini games, kind of like we played it with like Mario Party. It's couch co-op and multiplayer online. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to play and to see it at the state it's been at. Yeah, it's one of the cool mini games. I feel like it has some vibes of Among Us, but yeah, kind of like if you mix Among Us with Mario Party. It's kind of the vibes that I feel like the most makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, it's exciting. It's gonna be really cool. Oh yeah, there's like one of the items on this where you shoot and it knocks you off. It's pretty frustrating. The sound designer. We have like 3 sound designers for different things. Crosby, Jason. Like they're super solid. Our sound effects people and sound design is really on point. So yeah, I really love this stuff. This is turning out really cool. I want to. I want to see if ChatGPT knows if it can find out what the Boo Crew is. What is the Boo Crew? Steam page list, plan release, window Q4. Yep, that's true. The Boo Crew. Yeah, it was CREW before, so I wonder if that needs to be changed. It's also the name of the animated. Wait, really? Animated kids series, Wayne's Family. What? Hold on. That's fun. Oh yeah, I remember there's actually something that was talked about that. Um, Interesting. Yeah, like it had like some kind of copyright issue, and that's why he wanted to change the name to like yeah, I was the one that like suggested crew being like CROO. So yeah, the team like that. That's funny. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty goofy. All right, so we need to make the belt for the character here. So yeah, we let me see here. So yeah, the eye patch, the belt, and the eye patch that actually could be part of the character model because it has like the strap and everything. So the strap might be enough to be maybe annoying enough. Let's find out. So I'm gonna build out the patch now. Let's go ahead and just bring out the cube. So eye patch should be pretty simple, pretty large, thick. I'll add like one cut down the middle here, and then bring that down, bring that up. So it's a bit kind of more of this angle thing, and then this can go up like this. That's pretty good. Now we have a little shield looking thing. I really want to do a night boo. That'd be awesome. Maybe like a back shield. That'd be sick. All right, I'm just kind of having it hover like this. I think that looks the best right now. So I'm gonna have it hover, and then I'll bring up this this line edge here, and then I'm just gonna go forward like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Live chat. Okay. Sick. There we go. Oh, I'm kind of curious actually. I should show up on. So it's showing that it has like this shorts as well. Like I have like a YouTube Shorts version. I wonder if it'll actually show me in the shorts version. Oh well, it is fine. This is fine. That totally works. Let's see. There are hey Ben. There are many ways to the patch could probably be done. Model floating plane texture. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I pretty much only have the thickness like this for if there's like a close up shot of it. That's like the only reason why I really kind of do it that way. Yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't really matter at all. Like you're talking about, like just like have a plane. Yeah. Hey Ben, what's up, man? It's been a little bit, man. It's been we haven't talked in a little bit. Yeah, I think this is a the best way for boot crew. I might add like a cross like this. This is probably fine. Yeah. Yeah, I like it kind of like that, where it just kind of is like pushed in, kind of like a kind of pushed through like a cup. Let's see here. Maybe they should come in a little bit more. I think that looks fine. I have an idea actually for the strap. I'm gonna see this. Let's see if this works. The strap. I'm gonna do So I'll make this, and then I'll just do a quad draw on the character. Yep, that works. Heck yeah. What you been up to, Ben? It's probably pretty late for you now. Is it midnight? Quad draw. What time is it in Scotland? So I'm just adding quad draw at the moment. That looks pretty good. All right, I feel like that looks pretty good. Yeah, overall. 5 minutes passed. Oh, okay, nice. It's not too late then. This is real gamer hours, really. Real gamer hours. All right, cool. So I think this actually I have to might be part of the character, and I might have to. Well, we'll see. We might just socket the patch and engine, but I think it might be better if it's just part of the character. Like normally we want to have like a glasses kind of thing. I think it's fine though. Okay, let's see here. Let's bring this down. There's a few games that look pretty sick recently. I was looking up on YouTube. Okay, let's see here. If I can find it. Combo Devils preview? IGN. Let's see how Combos Devil looks.
Developer Punkzilla has one of the best elevator pitches of any fighting game I've played in a hot minute. What if we took the core of Smash Bros., fused it with the mechanics and sensibilities of a traditional modern 2D fighter, and then topped it all off with a roguelite single-player mode? As someone who grew up dumping hundreds of hours into the various iterations of Smash Bros. All throughout middle school, high school, and college, spends most of his nights grinding ranked in a variety that no other platform fighter.
This was cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Smash Bros. Fan. This was one of the games that was on my radar. But Combo Devils, I didn't really know much about it, but I knew it was going to be like Smash. Let's see. Ben, using retopo tools are useful for adding extras. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I think like adding straps, adding like a lot of stuff. I even like added a cape once before, just going off of the character mesh, and I just retopologized from the character body and then just made a cape. I've done that before.
Since Smash Brothers has been able to do.
Oh, that was cool. I actually had a shield right there. Hold on.
Has been able to.
I'm curious if it's like Smash Bros, where they'll have like the similar like shield button where you can't move when you're shielding, or if it's just like a character related thing. So the spear character can shield. I haven't seen the skateboard character shield yet, though.
Let me preface this all by saying that while the core gameplay of Combo Devils feels great, this is still a game that feels early in development. There are currently only 4 playable characters of a plan.
Oh, that's actually like my game's characters right there. The 3 main fingers and the thumb.
Currently only 4 playable
yeah,
characters.
It's very similar to Chaos Card.
Character slots in the character.
Oh, it looks like that's not consistent. Maybe it's the wolf character has, or the dog character has that.
Select screen or anything to go off of.
Yeah, the select screen does look a little bit early for sure.
Go off of. There's a
there's a few characters that look a bit questionable.
Progress warning next to the roguelite mode in the main menu, and the training mode is missing a lot of.
But I like that. I like the way the style looks, though. The style looks pretty dang cool. It's kind of like a stylized PBR, which I'm really into. And the action looks pretty cool, too. I mean, the VFX are very simple.
So, while the game clearly needs more time to cook, what's here shows
but I like
a ton of promise. The core of the fighting system is very Smash Bros.-esque. Each character...
Oh, that's cool. It's like multiple jumps off the wall. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. I wonder if it's on Steam here. See, Combo Devils.
Attacks, strong attack.
I'll check it out on Steam. Probably is. Bring back the eye patch. I actually think it looks a little bit too close to the center. That feels a bit weird. So I think that looks a little bit better having it be there. There we go. All right, let's see here. So we go to Combo Devils. I'm not too hyped about the name. I think the name's a bit odd.
Devils.
I don't know. I feel like Super Smash Bros. Just like feels very like Prime, very like core. Whereas I think like I guess Punkzilla, that's kind of like it feels very alternative, I guess. So I feel like Combo Devils just doesn't really ring the same way as like Super Smash Bros. Like it just feels very clean. I think the art looks awesome though. I can't bash them on that. I think the name is questionable, but overall this looks pretty cool.
Attacks and special moves of the up, down.
Yeah, that's actually I've done that. I've done fur this way actually, where the where like the fur is like baked in like this. I actually think for stylized things, it's like way easier than having like fur cards. It's like way more I don't know prevalent of a way, and that's actually a pretty cool character here. Super Mash Bros. I love Super Mash Bros. Don't you? Just super mash all this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I like the way this bat looks. It's pretty cool. Super Mash Bros.
and neutral variety. The first interesting twist on the formula is that your shield is directional and must be pointed
That's pretty
in the
cool.
direction of
So yeah, I think one thing's lacking here too is that you maybe you could see as this character is scooting forward, it didn't have like the smoke
the enemy's
under his
attack.
feet.
So, if the enemy
That's something I
jumps
can
in,
already tell that seems a bit different. I know that's expensive probably, but I feel like that's kind of a really cool little VFX to add that really like you can see the visualization of movement that way. So I think it's probably better to have that visualization of movement than not. So I kind of like that idea of having every time you scuttle backward or forward, it has a little bit of like this smoke VFX. I think that's good for any kind of like fighter game, just for visual clarity. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think it's kind of simple to consider and like, but this is also early in access, so I mean this we'll
you
see.
need to tilt your shield upwards. If they move behind you, you must move your
That's-
shield to block your back.
Okay, that's how the shield works. That's interesting. So it's like it's in this like octagon, hexagon, yeah, octagon pattern. That's unique.
Backside. So you can do cool
Yeah, it does still feel very much like I don't know why they don't just circle like it's Smash Bros, but I mean that's kind of cool though. So it's like a directional shield. You have to like really plan out where they're coming from at you, and that's interesting.
things like jumping in on an opponent that you're expecting is going to block their front, air dash through, and suppress a bit more damage to try and secure a kill. It's a fighting system that feels very well thought out and leads to some really flashy and fun to execute combos.
I think the
On top
fans
of
are a
that,
bit
there's
goofy
also
though.
a super- it's a kind of
Like on that last one right here. Like why do you have these fans? Like why do you have this like house fan thing?
Right.
Doesn't really match the theme as far as I can
First
tell.
interesting twist on the formula is that your shield is directional and must be pointed in the direction of the enemy.
Okay, so this bat follows this character, which feels a bit strange for a fighter game. Like it's cool because you kind of add this like thing, but I feel like when you have something fall like that, it feels a bit unnatural.
The enemy jumps in, you need to tilt your shield upwards.
Like it's always in like that
Behind you,
upper
you
right
must move your shield
area,
to block your
and it's
backside.
not reacting to the
So, you can
character.
do
See, it's
cool-
kind of just flapping right next to it. I think that needs to be kind of rethought. That feels a bit strange. I think it's better if you just have like Smash Bros. You have a character who has like a familiar, and then you can summon it during certain attacks. I think that feels better to me. Whereas if it's just flapping next to you, that feels like not impactful and kind of just rigid.
Things like jumping in and on
I don't know. I think that's kind of
opponent that you're
feels
expecting
right to me. Like yeah, like oh, I turn left, and then automatically my
will
bat
block their
turns to the
front,
left.
air dash through.
Yeah,
and surprise
it
them
just
with
feels a bit
cross-up
odd.
on their
I'm not a fan of that. Not really.
backside. Another traditional fighting game staple that has been infused to mesh with the platform fighter mold includes a Gatling style of combo logic. So, if you're just picking up a character and you don't know what the unique aspects of their kit are, you can generally rely on neutral lights comboing into directional lights, which can then combo into heavy attacks or special moves as a
That was
kind
cool.
of universal bread and butter combo for every character.
That felt kind of very like Smash Bros. Wolf. Where you're doing the slashes and like the slash combos. Yeah, I feel like that felt pretty good.
What's even more cool is that once you get your foe in the air, you also get one free air dash cancel, which lets you cancel the recovery of an aerial move and dash in a direction to continue the combo and potentially tag on just a bit more damage to try and secure a kill.
Okay, that looked pretty badass. And I do like how you can like climb up the walls like that. I wonder if every character can do that.
It's a fighting system that feels very well thought out and leads to some really
That's probably why it's called Combo Devils, is being able to do the combos. And yeah, the air strafe or air dash thing, that's pretty interesting.
flashy and fun to execute combos.
I think I'll have to really test it out to kind of know how I feel about it, but I at least I'll go ahead and follow them. I think it looks pretty cool. Like since I was a tester on Smash Bros, like I have a general good feel of like how I don't know the game should feel in this type of game. And I think it has the look, it has the visuals for the most part. There could be definitely a lot more polish, but yeah, I do think that they are just kind of early access right now. So that makes sense to me.
On top of that, there's also a super mirror to manage, just like what you'd find in most 2D fighters. You can spend 1 bar of the meter on EX special moves, which enhance your specials in a variety of ways, whether that's by simply increasing their knockback.
That looked kind of cool. That would look like a rebound effect. Hold on.
On EX special moves,
like over here, it looks like some kind of like you smash them into the wall.
Whether that's by simply increasing their knockback and damage.
See the show it? Oh, right there. Yeah, yeah. He like kind of like hit the wall and smashed off the wall and rebounded off the ground into the ground like that. That looked pretty cool to me. I think that feels pretty clean.
Or adding new properties to them altogether.
Oh yeah, and those like things that feels very Smash to me.
If you
where
manage
like
to build up 3 bars, you can execute super moves with traditional fighting game motion inputs to cap off
we got
the
super
combos
moves
with some extra flair and KO power.
Cool.
As far as the characters go,
That's
there's
cool.
a great variety of playstyles.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the skateboard kid definitely feels the most polished and the coolest. I think so. Okay. So, yeah, I can just do a simple thing for the belt here. So I think for the belt, I'm going to just go ahead and just grab these two and just have a big, thick belt like that. That feels the best plan to me, the best plan of action. So I'm going to kind of just build this out, go modify, center pivot, and then bring this out like that. Yeah, Ben, you going to bed soon? You're just hanging out? Do you have work tomorrow? Oh, not that far. There we go. That looks good. I don't really need that. We'll just keep it super clean. And then for the outside, actually, I can kind of do a little bit of a push. There we go. It looks a bit strange from the way that that looks, but it like from the top view, it'll make sense, but from a close up, it kind of looks like he's in like a tube. I will need to bring it down a little bit so it doesn't just cut right into the arms like that as badly. I can just have it. I can cut a little bit in the arms, but main thing is it needs to be visible. That's the main thing about it. So I'll just come in like a little bit like that. Oof. Yeah, it looks kind of crap from the back. Just gonna have it coming down a little bit like this. Let's have a little bit of a rotation. There we go. Yeah. That was correct. Yeah, for a bit. No, had work today. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Well, it's cool that you're on hanging out. Yeah, we haven't hung out a little bit. So by the way, I still do want to do to finish off the sword tutorial. I have the big move to Kansas, so things have changed a little bit to my my timeline, but I feel like we should probably finish off the sword tutorial. I know I'm way off the timeline that I was wanting to do because it's like the end of like Q1 of the year, but yeah, just so much has changed everything. So yeah, I think that probably because yeah, we have to do the audio improvements after that. Probably if we have time to, and you have time to, I can probably do some more editing or have some more editing work here soon for Sword 3. It's just been, yeah, so much going on lately, and I've had a lot of projects to work on. But I definitely want to finish that with you. I think that even though it hasn't got a ton of sales lately, like I think I still just want to wrap it up. I'm still interested in doing a Udemy course for the character art and stuff as well. I think that'll probably sell better. So I think that's probably one of the things is that like sword tutorials are maybe too common on like YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Whereas like a full character development stylized thing like this could be a little bit more interesting for an audience like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I appreciate that, man, for sure. Separate camera to look the model from the view. Okay. Yeah.
In the 4 available characters, and perhaps best of all, none of them really feel derivative of any existing fighter in the platform fighter space. My personal favorite is Shy. He's a gamer delivery boy who fights with a skateboard, power glove, and Beyblade top. He can even do a Gears of War style.
Wait, why did he put he put a game inside of his
Another standout
what?
is
His
Jacob,
skateboard?
a ninja dog with blistering fast speed, excellent projectiles, and a super cool special move that allows him to plant a butterfly on his opponents, which he can then teleport to immediately to continue or even.
See, it looks like the dog
As
character
for the roguelite mode,
is
while I can
fast similar
appreciate
to
Punzilla taking a swing at non-conventional
yeah, to
single-player
like
mode,
well, Wolf isn't that
this
fast,
felt
but
like a
but
miss, at least at
Fox
this
is
stage
pretty
of its
fast.
development. Roguelites are fun because every run feels distinct, forcing you to adapt to whatever the game throws at you.
That'd be interesting. Okay, so they'll have like a single player version. I feel like the single player,
Oftentimes,
these kind of games don't feel like the best, and which is too bad because they have so much going for them as far as combat goes that it really should have a better semblance for a single player mode.
You to make the best out of a bad
I love the
situation,
VFX on this
or
though,
bounce
but
along
yeah.
a good run when luck is in your favor.
Like the thing is that like platformers are completely different games than like these like multiplayer games like this, and so I feel like that sometimes they just do it wrong, like incorrectly. I think it's probably the main thing about it. Like the platforming is just not fun. Yeah.
But here, every run feels exactly the same.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Make sure this goes over the character. There we go. Okay, so we have the cutlass. We have the belt. The belt buckle can be separate mesh, and I'll have this little off piece be separate mesh as well. I'm just gonna go ahead and do maybe these two here, and I'll have it I'll have that break off. There we go, and then we'll just have it modify center pivot, pop out here a little bit, rotate like so. Awesome. So yeah, this is kind of it'll just show the kind of the belt coming out like this, and then for the belt buckle, I'll do the same thing. I'll just kind of build out from these two faces, extract these faces out, and then we'll go and do the object mode and modify center pivot again, just making sure it's easier to use and grab. And then we'll go ahead and do so with the belt buckles like this, what I usually do is I'll grab the outer edge, and then I'll do an extrude on the outer edge like that, and then I'll just delete the inner two faces like that. But that's cool to kind of build from that. And then I'll grab this inner bit and bring it down a little bit, and Bob's your uncle. I don't know why he's your uncle. I don't know where that came from. I heard that was like a very like UK saying. And Bob's your uncle. See if anyone's on the stream over here. Show your art. Versions. Hey, yeah, what's up, man? Sounds good. If you don't mind. Yeah, why is it always Bob? Why is Bob always the uncle? And Bob's a derivative of Robert? Is there really that many Roberts around? Has there ever been that many Roberts? Where everyone has an Uncle Robert? All right, so from the top view, it still overall works. So I'll do a little bit more rotation. We'll have it kind of be a bit smaller. Rotate. I'm mostly just trying to figure out how it all looks good from the top angle. That's the main thing about this. And I want to have that, make sure it's clipping perfectly so it doesn't have any weird. Yeah, there we go. Well, actually, I feel like it might be easier if I just do this. If I just add actual geometry and then just do an extrude here. Let's see if that works better. It may not. So this, kind of angle it like that. This piece can kind of come forward a little bit. Bob's your uncle. I think I heard that a lot during the British Bake Off. I think that's probably why I remember it. The Great British Bake Off. There we go. That looks better. Cool. So that's kind of how I'm gonna do these things. I was gonna have it be like those separate pieces, but I think that totally works too. Yeah, that feels good to me. All right, so that's basically all the pieces. Yeah, the cutlass is there. The belt is here. All the components are here. So you have the metal piece of the belt. We have. Oh, let me fix this belt real quick. Yeah, the eye patch. This guy's here. I did keep this separate. I think that looks a little bit better having it be separate. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Num 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 num. Thank you, babe. Cool. Low as high. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay, let's see here. Something let's see from Ben, something I have tended to do even with the low poly models is to make a duplicate and make an ID map and also find that it tends to bake better if you have a high poly model for baking maps than just bake. What was high? Yeah, I feel like there's a couple different ways to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I kind of, unless you've changed up your the way that you do it, you did 3D models and everything. I think I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do a duplicate as well, like pretty often. So like with this, I'll go ahead and duplicate that, and then I'll just add the extra edge loops, and that's a pretty effective way to pull it off. So I think that's that's kind of how I do it, as well. Let me go ahead and turn off Steam. I think. Bye bye, Steam. There we go. All right, yeah, we have all the pieces here. That looks sick. I'm gonna go ahead and send this off to our Discord homies. Also, if you're not a part of it, we have the Boo Crew. What is it? Kind of like the fan Discord. Let me see here. Playtest general. Suggestions, memes, pets. Let's see here. I think I probably can do announcements. Dev updates. Ooh. I'll go ahead and put it on the dev updates. Hello, Boo Crew fans. The newest Boo Crew skin. Fire Boo. Might as well plug the stream. Roommates. Oh, crew. Oh, of course. CROO. That makes sense. I don't know why it's still doing the same. Yeah, it's like the same one. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not doing the dragon anymore. I have like the new thing for it. I don't get it. That's funny though. What is dev like for Boo Crew? Working in, let's see, engine, or is it one of the one of those sending the work to drive? So we do engine stuff, yes. So right now we're in the newest Unreal 5.7 for Boo Crew, and it's looking pretty sick. So here I can. Well, I can't bring it up right now, but I can maybe bring it up on the next stream. But yeah, basically, I'll build stuff out, I'll throw it into Game Engine, then I'll push my characters over to rigging. So yeah, it's pretty dang cool actually. Yeah, we'll have quite a few of the. Yeah, I'll bring the characters over. I'll build out the materials for the characters as well. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very similar to how I was doing my game. Yeah, I kind of used to do with the whole thing where I just send things to Drive, but now we have this like these full pipelines. So we have a rigger, we have an animator, we have visual effects, we have like level designer, all the stuff basically. So yeah. So if you didn't see already, see the Boo Crew. The game was funded actually on Kickstarter, which is where a lot of the new fans came from the Discord. But yeah, so we hit our goal plus a little bit, and that kind of helps. I know that helps out the team and everything. And yeah, but it's super cool. Yeah, we got it funded, and we had some. So yeah, right now I'm actually working on the customizable boos. And so I'm trying to fulfill that thing from the funding, from the campaign. So at the moment, here, hold on, I have a Jira. There it is, Jira. So we have a full Jira board that's stocked up all the time. Michael is the one that kind of runs the show for this on a lot of these. Me as the art lead. I work on some of these tasks, and I delegate some of the tasks and everything to the team. And then I do like feedback, artly kind of stuff. And then, but yeah, so I'll just isolate myself. And so right now I'm kind of I isolate the from the Jira tasks and like that. So my Jira tasks anyway. So yeah, I'm a little bit behind on stuff because I had to do a few other contract work pieces for a different company. But yeah, so the pirate boo is the current one. We have the chef boo, will be easy, fun to work on. The dog boo and the gentleman boo. So yeah, fun. And the way that they're doing it now is that they can kind of mix and match the stuff. So we can have like the gentleman boo, the top hat for gentleman boo, while having like the doctor outfit or that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that we were kind of having it be more versatile that way. And then yokai floating ghost. I need to do the third one for this one. I keep on forgetting about this task. So I've worked on these two yokai ghosts, and we need to make the last yokai ghost, which is the kind of more turtle-y looking one. So they're all kind of like reminiscent of old like Japanese spirits, I'm pretty sure, and kind of having a cool visual vibe for that. But yeah, here let's see here. So I think I have all of the elements that I need for the pirate boo here. So basically creating a kit bashing. In a way, I am building an actual succinct like character like this. But then because we're socketing a lot of the stuff, like for instance, this belt can be socketed. So I'll probably socket the belt separately. We'll socket the hat separately as well. So this will be a separate piece. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll have this whole eye patch set. That makes the most sense actually, where I have the whole eye patch set together. And then that'll basically, if you choose the pirate hat, then I'll just come with the eye patch. I think that makes the most sense actually. Kind of like a helmet or something. But yeah, since everything is socketed for the most part, it's pretty interchangeable. So like that's right now I can texture this, and then in engine they'll socket it like it is supposed to be, so it'll be kind of like here, and then there we go. So this will be socketed, yeah, because I actually built a few of the characters where it was all together as one piece, and for rigging's sake and for versatility, we're like, okay, let's just not do that from now on. We'll just have it to be like, I'm not putting like this and like, you know, making it all one piece. We'll just socket it, and then we'll just have it be like, okay, well, this sword is, you know, from the the spine bones and offset by this much, and they'll decide on that, and they can make, basically it's just an easier way to not have something baked in. So it really helps with iterations and with clipping and all that stuff. So yeah. Yeah, totally. Okay. Cool. Are you doing an atlas texture for the separate parts, or dividing texture or individually textures? So yeah, everything is on one texture. So all the props and all that stuff. So it basically, if you blend in pieces, then everything pirate boo base will still be only on one material. But for instance, each boo is a different color. If you saw that in here, so we have like the green, the yellow, purple, and the red boos, for instance. And that's actually where we have to have the boo skin, the initial skin here, has to keep the same material. So sometimes that's when I'm like creating a new material for this. So here, I'll go and do it now. So I'll do assign new material, Lambert, and then just for clarity's sake, I'll like change this Lambert to a different one. So I actually been doing T. So I'll do T pirate, and then I'll for clarity's sake, I'll make it red. So there we go. Now I know. Okay, then I need to add the I need to add this, so I needed existing and T-Pirate. And there we go. So now that everything that is specific to the Boo crew, like pirate skin, will be this other material, basically. So it just helps with clarity. Yeah. And then the last thing is actually the facial plane, which I actually don't see right now. Let's see here. Delete history, optimize by scene size. Where is it at? Cylinder. Ah, here it is. So yeah, this red plane, that is the face plane for the expression sheet, basically. And so one thing I need to make sure is that this strap is not going to be fighting with those expressions. So actually, I'm glad I checked it out. So there we go. Now the strap is a bit above that, and then this is now kind of, yeah, let me fix this. So I'm just going to push this in. There we go. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, I'm the Boo Crew art lead and just having some fun. Thank you so much. If you were one of the people who funded the Kickstarter campaign, thank you so much for helping the team out and and really helping out Michael. Michael has been self-funding this entire game, and it's really like pretty awesome that he's been able to do that. But I know this has been really helping him out. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys. If you guys were part of the funding campaign for Kickstarter and got us through, then thank you so much. I really appreciate you. So, but yeah, so effectively right here, there are three different materials. Actually, let me see here. I'll turn this material into a different color as well to make it even more obvious. And this is going to be, let's see, I'll just make it like yellow. There we go. All right, yeah. So yeah, we have our expression plane material, our skin specific material here, and then our Boo material as well. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why this I don't know why it's decided that, oh yeah, we're going to just have this yeah, cuz I have a new That's dumb. Yeah, that's silly. Let's see. Game art. Live stream. Let's see if that helps a little. It may not. Okay, cool. Kind of looks like Mario a little bit. Okay, so the low poly is fed. Oh, I forgot the back. I nearly forgot it. Let's go ahead and sink this in a little bit further. I don't really want this to extend past the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate a little bit and bring it out a tad, and then bring this one out a tad. Have it come up a bit. And then maybe just have this rotate a tad. I think that looks a little bit better to me. I just give it a bit more presence, because yeah, like you're only going to see from the top, and so it doesn't make sense to have it that way. So I'm going to just do this too, where it's kind of skinnied in the beginning, and then it kind of comes out more like that. So, and then I'll just have this cut kind of like this. This is very much like a Nintendo kind of looking piece. So you have the roundness at the tip, and then you have like this like cut off piece. I'll keep that one. Let's go ahead and delete these two, and then pop that in and up it a little bit like that. That was pretty good. I'll bring this together a tad bit more like this. Cool. I think it looks pretty good overall. I like it. Are you just doing the character and character prompts or some environment art as well? And or is there an environment artist on the team? So yeah, we have 2 environment artists on the team at the moment. We have a new guy named Will, and then we have another artist. Well, we have 2 like environment artists for different pieces. We actually had a third environment artist. We had Elaine full time for a while, and then we have Miranda. So yeah, we have 3 environment artists, and effectively, I'm kind of doing art lead stuff for them. So kind of async, like kind of as needed. They'll post their stuff on the development Discord, and then I'll just give them feedback. I'll just do like a screenshot. I'll do like this kind of stuff, and then I'll just like, oh, the sword, like this is too small, or bring it in kind of thing, and then I'll have like a text about like what about it, and oh, this is clipping here, and oh, this is too small, and you know, that kind of stuff. So I kind of do like a screenshot annotation for them. And yeah, so I'm doing like art lead stuff plus props plus characters, and also help art lead for Amelia as well for VFX. So, and then I'll put my 2 cents in sometimes for animation if I feel like it's off, but primarily I think for animation is if it's like not the animation just needs to be able to read from the top. Generally the animators are really good at what they do, but they don't always consider the camera, and so like, oh, the camera's up here, so everything has to make sense from a top view, right? And that's part of it. So I'll fix that a tad. Yeah, I like the way this turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. Slope that, and then that kind of just jostles right there. It has that like sharp pit, and then the this top here. I know you're mainly character. Yeah, I'm primarily character guy. That's true. That's how I've always wanted it to be. I'm character man. All right, so now I'm basically just cutting into it. And I'm getting that that cool chop that you see on the that cool like half circle thing. And this is kind of how I wanted to do it for my own game too, for Chaos Kart. I wanted to just basically be the character guy that did a few other things too. Although I am kind of doing design documents for Chaos Kart, so that's one major difference. But yeah. So there we go. We're cutting into this guy and having, and then that middle into this. There we go. All right, matey. Look at my. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Sick. Look at that. Look at it. It's sick. Yeah, that looks great. I think that totally works out. And then I'll just bridge these faces over here. So bridge that, and then G. Perfecto. So now we have that major chop down the center, looking pretty piratey, if I do say myself. Look how piratey this guy looks. Oh, thank you. I need to take this material actually. Wrong one. You heard from the wife, y'all. Very piratey. Huh? Oh, I know. It'll be fun to test them. There we go. Totally. I'll just beat these guys up. That looks better. Yeah, every element you have on this very stylized top-down game, you have to make larger than you think you need to. Like, that's just kind of the way it works for stylized games. If it's not large enough, you just aren't going to see it as the player, and that's just kind of like why even bother with that detail. So it's yeah. There we go. See, I got the eye patch. I think everything's looking pretty good. I think we're in a good spot. I'm trying to just make this wider. Yeah. All about that first read the in silhouette. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And check this out. I love this option. If you don't know about this option before, it's pretty cool. So you just turn on the lights, like use all lights. Because I have no lights, it turns off the lights. And so I'll turn off the grid as well, and that way you can just to see the silhouette, and that looks pretty dang readable. That's like the most important thing is you have readability, shape language for the readability. That's why you have to exaggerate everything because it needs to be able to be readable from just a silhouette like this. And yeah, that's going to be super important. And I'm definitely going to like express this same kind of concept to my my future students. Like this how important that is to make sure everything's readable. And like, okay, that is the hat. This is the pirate boo. From just seeing these few elements, yeah, it's you know super important. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see and turn the lights back on. Let's see here. Go ahead and save that and bring it into my change. Let's see here. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the live stream thumbnails without having to do them as the stream is going, because then it feels like a bit awkward. People are getting the signal that I'm doing the live stream and it's like the wrong thumbnail. It's kind of annoying. So it's kind of like something I have to figure out. Right, I have some food in front of me, so I'm going to do a little bit more of checking out this guy. Love doing that in Blender, flat rendering, and black material. Absolutely. Yeah.
You choose a character and fight through several rooms of generic enemies that just kind
Turn
of
down my
wander
volume a
around,
little bit for this.
flash white, and then do some sort of attack that you must either block or just get out of the way of. Over the course of the mode, you'll gain power-ups, increase your stats, and fight bosses, but nothing ever happened that really changed up my approach to each room or made it more fun to play. There's obviously that aforementioned work in progress warning for the roguelike piece of this, so it's certainly possible for Punkzilla to turn it around. Nevertheless, it's not the selling point of Combo Devils. That would be the online play, and fortunately, the online experience thus far has been excellent. Its rollback netcode has held up extremely well throughout my playtime, even making things like Shy's active reload, which demands pinpoint precision timing, virtually identical to the experience of playing offline. All in all, Combo Devils is shaping up to be an excellent fusion of platform and
Yeah, I feel like that's super important, is making sure that the neck, yeah, like it's super difficult to make sure there's like no latency, especially in fighting games. Extremely important to make sure that you have next to no latency, because I feel like it's like it's difficult to keep people engaged, especially if they're really competitive. Yeah, it's super important. I don't know why they have the icon being the bat when you have this character. It's kind of strange.
2D fighting, with a smart melding of mechanics, fun characters, great online play, flashy and satisfying combos, and an aesthetically pleasing art style. There's clearly a lot of work to be done, but if Punkzilla can polish up what's here and fill out the rest of the game with the same level of quality as what's in this demo, then Combo Devils could very well be a major player in the platform fighting genre. And just to close out this preview, here's a full match of Jingo versus Shy.
Still not hyped about the name. I think Combo Devils is kind of a weird name. It feels just too alt, and I don't know. I feel like like Smash Bros is so much better than Combo Devils. Like, it's just so strange. Oh, I see clipping. I see so many clipping. So right here you have the wolf character or this dog character, and the top glove is a separate mesh than the hand, and it's very obvious right here where like this they have it's like it's hovering above the palm, and in the stretched animation it's just clipping super hard. And I think this is something that you have to fix in post where you're like, oh well, I just want to have the base game built out, but there's like I see like I think that's a normal map error on the nose here. Like we're having like, yeah, some weird clipping on the hand from the top of this guy. Yeah, there's just a few things like the feet here are clipping into the ground, which is not a good look. I think there's some polished things that just need to be done, but I think overall it's good. It's just that, yeah, I think there's some things like this that just have to be updated, like the animations and cinematic kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know, just little things like that kind of bother me. So, yeah. Like it's short-lived, so maybe it's like fine, but I don't know. It's overall pretty good. Like that's those are very picky little things.
What are you from? Some sort of karate movie? From?
Hold on. Terminal Illicity? What? It's like a goofy pun. All right, so I was wondering if this game existed. I was like, that's why I was wondering. Hold on, let me see if there's actually anything about that. Is that something that I want to look up? Terminal Killicity. I assume it's just velocity. Okay, yeah, it's just a pun off velocity. I see. Terminal velocity. Got it.
What are you from?
Okay, so he's putting in his hand.
Some sort of karate movie?
All right. Not too hyped about the character. Not too hyped about the character voice. I feel like that sounded like fake British. It's not your typical skateboarder voice. Like I feel like you'd probably have more of a dude bro, or just not that, right? I feel like your generic, like kind of bad boy skater kid, does not have a fake British accent. I know I'm ragging on this game. I think it's good overall. It's just there's just some things that need fixing. Looks like the mask is kind of just clipping into his hair as well, I think. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. It's just kind of doing this kind of U-shaped thing. That's why. Love those sound effects. Those are sick. Okay, I saw a shield break there. That was pretty cool. So it wasn't a full shield break, but it was starting to crack. I think it's a really good thing to keep in the game. Kind of fighting game like this. I think it's really cool to have like a toon fighter that has the shield break. I'm still not sure if I like the system of the shield being in 3 different angles like that in the quad. Or the, not the quad, the tri kind of effective thing for shields, but inside of the octagon. It looks like this is a really cool aspect that I need to add for my game. So this is the thing. When you have the character blinking white, it displays that they are untargetable or unhittable. I think that's really good to have. So yeah, if you have a character that's blinking a certain color, I think for Smash Bros, yellow blinking meant crowd controlled. So they're currently being grabbed or thrown or something. A purple blinking meant they're like poisoned or some kind of like overtime damage. I think there was red blinking where you're like on fire or you're just having an explosion. And the white blinking, it was you're currently temporarily untargetable. You can't be hit briefly. So there's probably some kind of thing where he just did a dash, and either the dash makes it to where he's untargetable, or when he's grabbing onto the wall and going over the wall, that brief moment he can't be hit, just for clarity's sake for the animation probably. Yeah, the dog character reminds me a lot of Wolf in his fighting moveset. The kid is kind of a blend of like Ness and like someone else. Yeah, the way he hit his skateboard is very similar, like the Ness like baseball bat. But he's a little bit more of a fighter than Ness in the sense of like jumping around. Like Ness had the magic abilities and all that kind of stuff, so I don't see any magic with this character. Seems purely melee. That was cool. So it looks like you can explode from just. Is it a health thing? I couldn't tell if that was a combo thing where I exploded or. Oh, I think it is a health thing. So they have like a 200 PSI. I'm a bit confused about that. So is it if you hit 200 damage, then you just explode? It's interesting. Like maybe that's how it goes. I'm going to head down. It was awesome checking out the stream, catching it. Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude. I'll check you shortly. Yeah, once we're settled in, we'll try to finish that sword tutorial, get it done, and then move on to the next one. Finally get over that. Thanks for hanging out, man. You probably heard that. At least it's a good night. I do like this character's power glove. It's pretty cool. But I feel like if you have a power glove, I feel like if you have a power glove, then you should be more like using the power glove. If you have a power glove, you have to punch with it, like a boxing glove almost, you know? Like I feel like there should be some kind of like cool like a cyber game like that. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so his like ultimate hit thing is from his power glove. That's at least there's that. I feel like it should be used more often. Like, so okay. That was cool. That's what I was looking for. Was a smash down. But I think that the VFX need to be themed for the power glove. Rather than just a smash down, it should be like some type of like video game pixelated punch thing. That was cool. So his grab is with the power glove. Okay, so I think they have enough elements that are power glove related now. The more that I'm looking at it. I mean, the gameplay feels really clean. Like, pretty snappy, actually. Ooh, got the nest. He got nest. That's cool. I'm not sure if I like the system of the damage. I think the damage system's fine. Like in Smash Bros, you didn't just automatically like die unless you're on like the health type. If you're in the health game mode, then that worked that way, but I feel like generally that's not the case. You'd build up damage over time, and so you'd be slung more.
For more recent IGN previews, make sure to check out our videos on Control Resonant and Samson: A Tindalston Story. And for everything.
So again, mostly pretty good, but you have these things like this where there's a few normal map errors here, and some kind of weird
Anything else?
The texture's
Keep it
pretty
here
good overall.
on IGN.
It's pretty good overall. That's what IGN has more of. The Gentleman. Past due midnight. Peak. Oh, did you do some more peak
Hey
stuff?
Scouts, it's Paige here with another patch notes
Update.
video.
It's not enough. I want more.
What?
Get rid of tornadoes. I hate them. Delete winds. Delete winds. Make more damage nicer. Make it nicer. I keep dying. Add more spiders. Master, where is ping pong?
Is this?
Ah! Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're just allowing you to customize your game a little bit more.
The
Play
play it.
your way
Okay.
update.
Oh
out
my
now.
god. This is not gonna work.
It's out now,
The
guys.
play it your way update is out.
It's out.
So actually, that's actually how we're doing our characters too on Fubukru. Similar to Peak, we're just having to be where you have expression sheets, and depending on what the character's doing, they'll have the different kind of facial animation, that kind of stuff, the eye animation. That's very, yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, we can't do it
Yeah,
together.
woohoo.
It's kind of like Vizemes and VR chat. Official Peak Roots update.
Oh no, careful.
This new? Oh, 4 months ago.
My strat is eat every single mushroom you come across. Is a mushroom up here?
Cool.
I think this direction is good, maybe. This is a pretty funky mushroom.
Look between the trees!
There's somebody down there!
Oh, he's down there?
We need to go.
Get away! Get away!
That stuff never happens to us.
Oh my god, this win!
I think something bad's gonna happen to me.
No! No!
Did my corpse revive?
Stay away!
Guys, what's going on?
Jade! No! Jade! Guys, I just think I got bit.
The Roots update. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder how many players play Peak still. I know it got really big for a while, and I think that's probably where the word Peak kind of spawned from a bit more. Oh, but yeah, the idea of Peak. I know it's like super popular for a while, but I'm not sure how the
Hey,
updates are going to be
Scouts,
doing.
it's Paige.
Arc Raiders. Oh yeah, anyone playing Crimson Desert? Excuse me. Yeah, no, Crimson Desert's kind of, it seems to be kind of like you either love it or hate it kind of thing. That's what it seems to be that way anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering how people feel about it right now, because it seems to be just kind of in question. I'll go ahead and play this one.
Sigurd the Stag Lord is a brutal optional boss fight in Crimson Desert that you'll encounter while completing the Lord Amidst the Ruins quest for House Circus in Hernand. He's a ruthless opponent with
Actually, I watched my roommate beat this guy just today. He's pretty strong though.
a vicious enchanted sword that can drain your stamina, so if you're struggling to beat him, don't worry, you're not alone. Here are some tips and tricks on how to take down the Stag Lord easily in Crimson Desert. The first thing to know about Sigurd before getting into a fight with him is that some of his more deadly combos will drain your stamina if he hits you with them. Because the fight takes place at the top of a mountain, you'll already be at a disadvantage stamina-wise if you haven't taken the proper precautions and equipped armor with ice resistance. I grabbed the Hernandian's Noble Cloak from the contribution shop in Hernand to add level 3 ice resistance to my build, but because of how cold the top of the mountain is, that still wasn't quite enough to completely offset the stamina cost of being in the cold. Luckily, if you fought your way through Sigurd's army as you climbed up the mountain, you'll likely have picked up a good number of Longhorn Soup, which heals you for 360 HP, then adds a level 4 ice resistance buff for 60 seconds.
This feels a lot like Dark Souls. I think they pulled from a lot of games. Yeah, like I feel like Skyrim, Dark Souls, Red Dead Redemption, and of course like Breath of the Wild kind of added a lot of like they blended a lot of stuff to this game.
As you fight Cygord, eat the soup to top up your health and keep warm so that you aren't caught in a bad position without any stamina if you end up taking a hit from one of Cygord's stamina draining attacks. The Cygord fight is broken into 3 phases, but as with many boss fights in Crimson Desert, Cygord's attacks don't change a whole lot over the course of the fight. In each preceding phase, Cygord gets more aggressive, but if you know how to deal with him in phase 1, you know how to deal with him in phases 2 and 3. The most important thing to know about Cygord is that his attacks don't do much sweeping, which means he's only...
One thing I actually found pretty funny, my roommate was playing against him. Cygord basically just like backed up into a stone pillar, and the stone pillar just exploded. And I'm just like, dang. Like that stride though, just be destroying an entire brick pillar. Just like walking into it, like it wasn't even an attack. It was literally just like he just pathed into it and exploded. Kind of goofy.
ever attacking in the space directly in front of him. If you can dodge to his right or left while he's in the middle of a combo, you'll be able to get a few hits in before he turns your direction. This stands for nearly all of his attacks. Parrying is an important skill for deflecting Cygord's normal attacks, since a successful parry will knock him off balance and open him up for you to get some damage in. However, I wasn't able to parry most of Cygord's attacks, since he unleashes powerful glowing red slashes and slams that seem to not be blockable. When he starts glowing red and begins unleashing overhead slashes with his sword, you'll need to dodge out of the way, otherwise you'll get caught in a nasty combo that drains your stamina. Cygord also has a glowing red grab attack and a glowing red charge attack that he adds in the second and third phases of the fight that you need to dodge around as well. Although he hits hard, you should be eating the Longhorn soup every minute or so to fight off the cold, which, thanks to its incredibly potent healing properties, should keep you in top shape as the fight goes on. Dodge to the left or right of Cygord's attacks, get a few hits in, back off, rinse and repeat. If you do get caught in a barrage, you should be able to roll out of them without too much trouble. Once you do, get some distance and prepare for the next volley. As long as you remember that Cygord only ever attacks in a straight line, you should be more than equipped to beat the boss and wrap up the Lord Amidst the Ruins questline. So
it seems pretty cool. I think I like it more than I don't. I feel like they did a good job. They made really well, and the world's pretty cool, pretty big, and I think that's it's pretty cool. Okay, before I lose my before I lose out on this, let me go ahead and set my project. So my pirate boo, and then let's go ahead and set my directory. Yeah, I've done that before where I save my file and I have no idea where I saved it to. Pirate boo. There we go. Awesome. Okay, that's the hat pieces. So I have the hat, I have the belt, and I have the cutlass. Okay, let's see here. I think I just need to duplicate everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just do Control D. Well, actually, before I do that, let's not do that yet. I'm going to bring these two out here. Ooh, not that. Bring these two out here. Get rid of all this crap. Optimize my scene size. There we go. Now I can... What is this? Oh, it's the belt. Okay, that's fine. Let's do that again. Optimize my scene size, and then... G, D. Let's go ahead and hide this. All right, there we go. So the high poly is actually super easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start building that out through here. There we go. Let's turn off symmetry. Let's make it a little bit easier on ourselves. Bam, bam, bam. I'll do a smooth. There we go. Nice. So that's basically what I'm doing is I'm just adding these little edge loops next to the end caps. And then I'm just doing it to smooth, basically. So I could do one more right here. Then run a smooth to the power of 3. And there we go. So you can do a ton of it just in Maya like this. Just building this out. That should really be all I need. That's the only thing is showing. And then I'll do my smooth to the power of 3 here. Looks good. Let's do the belt. The interior, there we go. So basically, if I didn't do all this, then it just turned really mucky. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I just do like, if I just smooth on this, then it'll just kind of like turn into a circle. Well, it's kind of cool, but then it kind of destroys the way that it was flowing. So that's why I'm doing it this very specific way. I need to add edge loop here. There we go, and then probably one right here as well. Well, here. There we go. So the back looks a bit wobbly, but I'm not too worried about it because it's not really visible. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Power of 3. Heck yeah, all is pretty good. Let me finish off these high polys before I wrap up the stream. Okay, gonna bring up this. Nice, there we go. And then the sword itself, I probably can just do like the alongside the blade. So I'll do the world Z. There we go. The bottom side and then the top side. There we go. That should work. Let's see how that looks. Move to the power of 3. Ooh, it kind of misses out that edge here. Let's fix that. Which is kind of weird that it does that. Let me see. Come on. Object mode. You can do it. Cut. There we go. I'll turn off symmetry. The symmetry definitely messes up when you're trying to do something in the center like this. There we go. So now it shouldn't collapse on itself. So smooth. There it is. Power of 3. That's still not keeping a sharp edge here. Oh, I know why. I need an edge loop like that. That's why. And hopefully it won't be too clampy there. Fingers crossed. Okay, that should do it. And then I'll go over to the smooth operation again. Let's see how that looks. Power 3. That looks pretty good to me, I think. Pretty solid. So yeah, we're just doing the, the kind of the rough, the high poly blockouts here, or the high polys, and then we'll move on to. I could probably UV it actually, but it shouldn't take too long. Okay. So, okay, we have the pirate hat here. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and just add the edge loops there and there, the internal, external. Sweet. Okay, yeah, perfect. And then the start of this cap piece there, and probably just this. Well, that's not going to work. It almost works. So yeah, sometimes when you have this pizza pie thing, it won't allow. There's actually a way to fix that where I can just grab all of these, do an extrude, and then just bring them in, and that kind of creates this cool edge loop, and that works really well for this high poly mode. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run it smooth and see if everything looks still good. So to the power of 3. Hey, that's super clean. Okay, cool. So there's really not a lot that we can't do in Maya, other than if we want to do some sculpted, like say if the headband needs some sculpting and that kind of thing. So overall solid, but we need to do this like little headband thing right here. I probably want to do a little bit of sculpting along this like moon shape thing for the hat. I think that'll probably be good. And then of course the sculpting, I think for these little like belt loop things. And okay, I do want to have this like leather element around this sword handle. I'll just have that on the sword. I think that makes the most sense. So that'll be okay. It looks like it's on the blade. It's kind of like a very not good sheath because you probably cut right through that leather bit and cut your arm or cut your hand off. So yeah, not the best. Not the best. Okay. So let's see here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and let's go ahead and do the high poly of the buckle here. So bam, bam, bam. Let's do. And then the internal sides here and then here. Whoop. All right, cool. That should be, I actually need to do these corners too. Otherwise, the corners will not stay. So I'm going to kind of add these. Let's go ahead and just add the symmetry real quick. Save me a little bit of time and make sure it's more accurate. Ooh, that's a weird bug. It shouldn't be off a line. Yeah, because that's the center point. So I'm not really sure why it's being goofy like that. It's fine for this one for some reason. Yeah, for that edge loop, it's been okay. But then the top is being silly. The bottom is fine. That's really strange. Okay, well, I'll just turn off symmetry for now and do it manually. There we go. That's all we need to do for that. And then I can go ahead and run a smooth to the 3rd division. So the multiplication of 3. Sweet. We've done it. We've done it. We've created a belt. A belt for a boo. Okay, cool. A bolt. All right, let's see here. So I guess the last thing would be, yeah, the scabbard piece, I guess. So if that wouldn't be something that I can't just do. That's like, yeah. So yeah, with the scabbard piece. Oh, and I guess I should make this little guy as well. You know, I just realized that I just realized the belt was a bit off. Where it's supposed to come out this side here. That's kind of frustrating. All right, I'll have to change that. I'm glad I caught it now. That's unfortunate. So, all right, let me go ahead and fix off the low poly. All right, so I'm basically just cleaning it up to where it matches this right here. So it's coming off the side. And I'll go ahead and close holes, mesh, fill hole, delete. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, so all I have to really do here, I'm going to go ahead and unhide this. And then, yeah, right here I need to add an edge loop. Or, I guess I can just move this edge loop here. Sweet. So I'm going to just cut in a loop here and then just extrude this this new loop. There we go. That makes things a little bit easier anyway. And then for this guy, I'm going to add one extra edge loop kind of closer to this because that's going to have a lot of weird baking errors. If I don't do something like this. So at least this kind of helps it stay away from the core belt, so the baking errors will be minimized, I guess. There we go. That's how you do it. All right, so now I basically just need to duplicate this belt, and this belt needs to come down to the bottom side. There we go. Now I just needed to redo the high poly for it. So now I have the new belt. So that's the edge loops. Bam, bam, bam. Easy peasy. I can't believe that how different it is from when I first started 3D modeling. A character like this would have taken me about 3 weeks to do, and it'd be worse. Yeah, it's insane how like exponential growth factor happens with learning. Like it's pretty awesome. Like I've been doing this for a long time, so it's, you know, it's not even fair a comparison, but yeah, it's awesome how over time you just become so much more efficient at things. All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and run this smooth by the power of 3. Sick. All right, and then for this piece, so one thing I could have done is here, I could push this forward a bit, but I'm not going to worry about that actually. I'm just going to leave it as is. And I'm just going to add that little like middle belt piece thing here. I'll make a low poly version of it too. So we'll just make a very big chunky, you know, this part right here effectively for the belt. So I'll make it big. Just kind of elongate that. And I'm just gonna have it like clip right into the belt itself. Make it skinnier like that. There we go. So come from here. That's too high up. So there's the middle point. There we go. Rotation. And I could add like maybe like one edge loop, like right here to have a curve. So I can just kind of push it in like that. There. Then these two can just kind of be pushed into the belt as well. So like that. I still feel like that when you don't have it clipped directly, it looks a little bit cleaner. So if I have it like be kind of hovering like this, it looks better to me. I have a flatten like that. So like there kind of thing. Like that looks cleaner to me, way cleaner than if you clip it. And let's see how it looks otherwise in the silhouette. So I'm going to bring it in. And then see how it's like sideways and it's kind of strange. I don't like that. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Okay, sweet. So let's make it a bit wider. There we go. That feels pretty nice and blocky. I can see it from the top. Actually makes a difference in the silhouette. That's why it matters. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. Bring it into the low poly section. Bring this into the high poly section. And then now I can do my like extra cuts to make it look actually good. So there. I'm kind of just making these box cuts. And then smooth. Power of 3. Oh, looks like I missed something over here. That's right, I missed this. There we go. Let's see, why is that so weak? Too weak. Perfect, that looks good. That looks much cleaner. All right, the last things right here are just these sections, and this is super easy because I just do a smooth with nothing else. And to the power of 3, and then this one, I could add kind of like a crease down this thing, but I think it's actually fine just the way it is. So let's go ahead and see how it looks if I crease it. Or if I don't crease it, I just do a smooth. I think that's good overall. I think the only thing I could do separately is if I brought this point out a bit. I don't know why my Steam is still on. Bring the point out a little bit, then actually when I do the smooth, it becomes a bit cleaner. Yeah, it kind of sticks it out a little bit as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Try it again. I'll do the same thing here where I'll pull it out just a tad. And then run it smooth. Power 3. There we go. So yeah, basically next I would just need to go into ZBrush and run it from there where I'll kind of add the different folds, but it's not really a whole lot to do. So effectively the ZBrush thing would be I add these belt holes, and then I add the moon shape on the hat. I add the trim here. That'll look better on cut on the high poly. And then this back piece right here, I can add some information there. So this looks like it's, you know, actually cloth. And then the handle shows up enough. So I can go ahead and do that too, where I can just add these little creases in the handle so it looks like it's actually padded and that kind of stuff that actually wrapped. So that'll be kind of cool. All right, cool. So I think we finished everything with a high poly. Let me grab that. Let's see, where's the boo at? That's the face. That's the boo. There we go. So yeah, the high poly is finished. I just need to bring this existing to pirate. There we go. So everything is the right material now. Pirate. Perfect. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to do a screenshot for the team. I think everything's looking pretty solid. Oh, thank you. Wow. Not yet. So here's the top game view. And I like to do screenshots for the team that are relevant to the actual camera. I think that's important to do. Here's the sword element, and of course I'll have to update it. Okay, and here is the low poly. All right. Heck yeah. Posted. So yeah, I think let's see, there's one more element I need to do. It's just this last element, super easy to do. I could almost do it in texture, but I wouldn't want to. So I'll just do it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab these faces. So face mode, grab these faces, and I'll just do an extract. Or duplicate extract, I guess. I'm not sure if it worked. Did it work? It didn't work. Okay, I'll try it again. So faces, duplicate, there we go. And then from here, modify center pivot. Bring this down. Cool, that looks good. So now I basically just have this, this extra piece, and that will be that extra one. This would be like the leather bit of the cloth. So I'll go ahead and use this and probably just shrink it down a tad bit, and then extrude it. That's not working. Let's try that again. Let's do it the normal way. I'll just bring it down like that. There we go. I think the only thing I need to add here is probably just like an edge loop here in the back, so it feels like it's not so so stark. So there we go, like this, and then kind of pop it in there like that. That looks pretty good. And so that will be the last element we need for this little like scabbard piece. I think that looks pretty good to me. Swapping these out a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, I'll keep a little bit of the curve. I think the curve looks pretty good. Yeah, I feel like that adds a little bit of organicness to it. And the last thing I'll probably do is shrink the sides down. There we go. And that adds that more that dynamic look to it, and that I like to add to a lot of my pieces, especially stylized stuff. It just feels better that way. It's a little bit floaty. I don't think it's a huge deal though. Here, I'll just bring these edges in a tad bit. And that looks fine. That looks fine. All right, awesome. So now we have this little like loop piece. I just need to add that to the high poly here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a duplicate of that. Let's go ahead and delete history. Optimize our scene size. I don't like it creates this like poly surfaces. That's kind of annoying, but I know why it happens. It's just frustrating to the this side. This outliner just kind of gets packed with stuff. And so that kind of feels annoying. All right, so now I have it in the high poly. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that up a little bit, and we're Gucci. So here I'm adding some extra edge loops. I need to add some supporting edge loops for the front because it's a little bit tighter. These back pieces need a few supporting edge loops, and then along the main inside donut here. So them. And this is like, to me, this is the most effective way to do it. You can do a grab mesh and then just do bevels, but I personally like this a little bit better. All right, so here, go into the smooth and times it by 3. And that should be good. 1. Let's turn that off. Heck yeah. Yeah, okay, looks like this little hat kind of goes under, like on top of this thing. I'm not too worried about that. If the others care, then I'll add that. The only other thing that I might do as well, like down the road, is I might have the this lid part be pushed back a bit more so you can see it from above. Because right now, if I add any information right here, then you're not going to see that from the typical camera view, and that kind of sucks. Unless I tilted the hat a bit more, which I could do. But I think it'd be easier if just that front lip right there was just further back, like it was like creased backwards, and that way you could see that from the top angle. Because right here you could be fine from the front, but at the camera angle that the characters are always at for the most part during gameplay, you would not be able to see that at all, except for like the main lobby area. But anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's been kind of fun. It's been cool being back and streaming again with you guys. And again, if you're in here and you funded the Kickstarter campaign, we really appreciate it. It's really helpful, and it helps the team a lot. And I'll go ahead and post this up. We're good, and I'll see you probably tomorrow. Peace.